I'm a former New York State Supreme Court Justice. Let me tell you about a real case story. Now, just stay with me on this one. We have a 15-year-old. He goes to school, he finishes at about 3 o'clock, and he's got a part-time job in a small little grocery store that sells a lot of items, including meat. Now, there's a meat grinder in this store, and one of his jobs was to take the meat when people wanted hamburger or things of that kind, to put the meat in and actually grind it. Now, originally, this meat grinder came with what is known as a safety plate, but the meat would constantly jam up, and the owner removed the safety plate so that there was nothing protecting anybody who's using that machine should you get your hand caught in there. This 15-year-old youngster is grinding up meat for a customer. Meat gets jammed up. He puts his hand in trying to move it around so that it can free itself. The grinder, unfortunately and tragically, cuts his hand right off. Well, we're retained. We go after the owner of the store. By this time, the store is closed, it's shut down. The owner's no place to be found. He's left the country, he's disappeared, he's out of the picture. He had no insurance anyway. Well, you have the meat grinder company. We go after the meat grinder company and say, wait a minute, you actually manufactured a defective product because you had a product with a meat grinder that could be removed. And of course, they resisted and stonewalled the case to the point where they said, oh no, we're not responsible. If somebody removes a safety plate, we're not responsible at all. And we said, oh yes, you are responsible because you created and built a machine that had a safety plate that could be removed very easily. And in doing that, you have, in essence, created a dangerous condition for anybody who would be using that machine. Well, they said, no way, no money on the case. We went to trial. Well, during the course of our discovery, we engaged one of the finest engineers in safety in the country. He examined the machine, and he found something in a catalog. The catalog had extra parts for this machine. And one of the extra parts that was available for sale was a safety plate. Well, immediately, if there was an extra part that this manufacturer was selling as a safety plate, as an extra part, it meant they had to anticipate and reasonably foresee that this safety plate would be removed and possibly damaged. We went to trial, and we represented this poor youngster. And we said, this machine was defective. There was no safety that was built into it because this plate could be removed very easily. The manufacturer had reason to know that safety plates were removed, and they should have had a machine with a safety plate that was more intact, that would not be capable of being removed as easily as this one was. Jury heard all of the testimony. Tough case. They came back in favor of this young man. Justice was done. Well, that's the story. And until we meet again, this is the storyteller telling you, stay safe and keep out of danger. Thank you.